Welcome to the All by the Popcorn podcast. I'm Alessandra.
And I'm Emily.
And today, if you wouldn't have guessed from our backgrounds, if you're watching on our YouTube, we are talking about the Suicide Squad. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Yes, not the previous Suicide Squad. No, the. The only differences between these movies is that the old one doesn't have a "the" in front of it, and this one does. But yeah, the new Suicide Squad movie. I was trying to wrap my head around this movie. I was like, is it a sequel? Is it a remake? I knew it wasn't the exact same story. I knew that for sure. But I was like, is it kind of supposed to be a continuation off of the first movie? And I think it kind of is because everything's already pretty established. It's just kind of a different mission. Which is totally fine. But yes, this is currently showing for a limited time on HBO Max. That is how we watch this movie. I think it's on.
Didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. Too busy.
No, it was just a bit too tough to make it to the theaters, which I probably would have seen this in theaters, and I think it would have been fun to see this in theaters, honestly. So I definitely would have if I had the time, but it's just very convenient that it was on HBO Max.
It's very convenient for a lot of movies. But I'm glad we could have watched it. I literally just finished it. Danny and I watched it while we had dinner, and I had some wine, and it was a good time. I was cracking up the whole time.
You ate food while you were watching this movie, too?
I did. Lots of gory imagery.
Yes.
But it didn't really gross me out. I kind of expected it. I heard it was very gory, so I wasn't really, shocked by it, really. It didn't, I think if I had seen it in theaters, it would have been a lot more visually...
in your face a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, there was one part that kind of grossed me out that I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be eating during this. But normally I don't get too squeamish. I don't even know what scene it was, but the second it happened, I was like, oh. I kind of wish I wasn't eating right now.
It was, a lot more violent than I think even the first one. And truthfully, I only got through about 5 minutes of the first one, so I can't be such a good judgment.
Did you never fully finish the first movie? Never?
I did not.
Oh.
Because it just started off really bad, and I remember I think I tried to watch it on a plane or something, and I got 5 or 10 minutes in, and I was like, this isn't getting any better. This isn't very interesting. The editing made me want to throw up. So I was like, I can't, keep watching this. And so I didn't.
Wow. Yeah, I went and saw the first Suicide Squad in theaters.
Oh, you were stuck.
You were stuck. And to this day, I have never walked out of a movie. No matter how bad it is. I sit through them. Because,
I sat through Cloverfield. I walked out of Cloverfield.
I never saw Cloverfield.
Well, I saw it in theaters, and only about half of it, because it made me nauseous and so entirely uncomfortable that I had to just exit the theater.
Yeah. And
go put my mind at ease with something less scary.
Yeah, I definitely heard that about Cloverfield. But this is the new Suicide Squad. Where should we start? There's so much to unpack. I kind of want to touch on the gore a little bit. I don't dislike gore. I do like gore if it's tasteful. And even though the gore was kind of I think it was supposed to be sort of more comedic in this movie, it just seemed a bit much sometimes, and it looked very fake sometimes. I was like, they really tried to show people slicing off a head and seeing a...
They hammed it up.
It was too much.
Hammed it
The movie didn't need it. It could have been funny without all the I mean kind of crappy CG blood sometimes. I was like, okay. At one point it was just getting a bit too much, but that's pretty much the only comment I had about the blood. But yes, I was laughing a lot during this movie as well. It was it was very enjoyable to the point where I may be inclined to say yes to watching it again in the future.
I would say that this movie was absolutely unhinged. No rules. Honestly, one of the only movies I've ever seen that was so unhinged. I mean, there was no... You had no idea what was going to happen. And also, these characters are just so incredibly reckless that you just don't really... Like, the point of it is that they're so reckless. So then it's like so much extra intensity and just complete abandon to everything that makes sense in a superhero movie, and that's why it works. Whereas obviously the first one was a lot darker in tone and tried to be more serious.
Yeah.
This one was a lot less serious. It was like a lot more fun. Within the first 10 minutes of the movie, most of this Suicide Squad that was put together was murdered on the beach.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was just like so much like horrendous gore so quickly that it just like told you what kind of movie this was going to be. That you really shouldn't attach yourself to anybody because
they could be gone. This is Game of Thrones we're talking about here. The ones you love will die. But yeah, I thought the beginning was almost a little misleading because, you know, I knew it was James Gunn. I was like expecting like really good music, and we did, but like right. I think it almost tried to like trick you in the beginning, like the pace
to be like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, like the pacing was a little weird. It was a little slow. It was a little weird. Like it was just a little strange in the beginning. There was like little to no music, or the music was just like boring. I was like, is this a James Gunn movie? Like, what the hell is this? And you know, Kimmy, 5 minutes in, she's like, I don't like this movie, and I'm like, Kimmy, give it a second.
Okay.
This isn't her movie. This isn't. It is not her movie.
I know. I understand. It's not a Kimmy movie. I totally get it.
But also, understand. Like, I was like, okay, let's not be too rash here. All right, we need to let this play through. We need to let this play out. But yeah, complete chaos. I completely agree. But I think it worked for this movie. And again, we're dealing with villains who are villains or just people who are misguided or, you know, have just, you know,
anti-heroes.
Yes, anti-heroes that are playing the hero. So these aren't righteous, virtuous people. They're chaotic. They're probably not all there mentally. They have their own issues, their own things going on. Like, this is farthest from a hero you can possibly get. But well,
Bloodsport and Idris Elba's character was our like closest thing, and obviously we always have Harley, which we'll talk about her.
Yes,
but yeah, like Idris Elba's character was our more connectable character because it was clear from the beginning of his story that he cared about his daughter, even though he was like telling her to stay away from him.
Yeah,
he cared about her at least a little bit, right? So it was like,
yeah,
and even saying to her, "You should stay away from me," it's like he is automatically thinking his daughter can like handle herself and should get away from him and his bad habits. That's already a thing that would make him feel like he's a loving father, even though it was a very backwards way of doing that, right? Like,
yeah,
you know, seeing him fight with her was clear that they have history and that they actually do really care about each other. It's just they take it out in this like more, you know, screaming kind of way.
Yeah, and that's more like a aggressive way in a way. But and his story was like he was a paid assassin, basically. Like, people would just pay him to kill people. And that's like kind of how he made his money, I believe. But yeah, and even with him telling his daughter to, you know, not talk to him or, you know, disassociate with him, in a way he was probably just protecting her, like, you know, from probably getting further hurt. I mean, he was probably never getting out of jail, like, probably just trying to get her to move on.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
So
I really liked Idris.
He had like
as a
Yeah,
character.
he had more morals than John Cena's Peacemaker, who was very, like, morally, like, backwards in a way. So it kind of, like, was like, oh, we can associate with Idris Elba, who wouldn't kill women and children, but, like, Peacemaker is obviously very unhinged because his morals are completely different. Like, he does not care who he has to kill.
Yeah.
To maintain his radical moral agenda, you know.
Yeah, he felt kind of like the character in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the anti-Cap.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah,
Just kind of like a skewed thoughts about justice and and especially with finding the little chip at the end, or like the little drive, and wanting to release it so people can know, like, you know, the truth could be released, and him thinking that would cause just like widespread pandemonium, and that's not what the country needs. Like, he just wants to follow his orders and, you know, do what he's told and be named the hero.
Well, he was basically a mini-me of Waller, who has those mismatched morals as well, and her agenda is also like whatever she needs to do to achieve the safety of America is like basically her entire. So she's like a very radical character who's the leader, and we see her get wiped out by her own team because of her, like, difficult choices that they deem wrong.
Yeah.
So it's basically like he's like an extension of Waller, you know.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that James Gunn has managed to completely, like, bring a lot of these backstories of these characters to the forefront, and they're so weird and strange, and have us, like, care for them. You know, obviously with Idris Elba and the Rat Girl, just, like, having us, like, really care about them because we think that they have, like, a twinge of good in them. And then, of course, we already care about Harley from previous movies. So it really, he didn't even need to give Harley anything because Harley is already so established in this world. So it was, like, nice to focus on some of the
other
other
people.
characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been really nice, just like even with these, you know, chaotic anti-heroes, getting to know just like some different DC characters in general. We end up seeing a lot of the same stuff when it comes to DC. We've said the same things about Marvel. Like, I like to be introduced to new heroes. I want fresh meat. I want new heroes to, like, obsess over. I mean, you know, I still have all the old ones that I love. You know, will always have a place in my heart for Iron Man and stuff. But, like, I want to see DC branch out some more. I'm tired of seeing everything already. So hopefully with the release of the remake of the Justice League movie, and which I heard is really good, we do plan to talk about that one in the future. It's just you have to mentally prepare for that. And luckily that one's on HBO for, I think, forever.
For a while.
Because it's an HBO, like, original or something. So that one will be there. But yeah. So hopefully with these two movies kind of getting out there, maybe DC will focus on some new stuff, hopefully. I don't know.
Well, who do you have behind you? Who's on your screen? The best character in the movie?
The best character. Basically, so I was making so many comparisons to, like, Guardians, obviously, because James Gunn worked on that movie, and, like, Deadpool. Like, those were, like, kind of the movies that were kind of coming into my head as I was watching this, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, we both know the Guardians movies are fun, and the Deadpool movies are fun. So, but this is the King Shark or something. So to me, he was like the Groot, or even the Drax. Like, he was kind of both. He was really, and I love both those characters. He's dumb, and he's just
and
lovable and just violent. Yes,
eats people,
eats things. I loved watching him eat people. It was adorable. I said before the podcast started, I said King Shark is baby, and and I will protect him with my life.
Danny loves King Shark. He said that King Shark is very fun in the Harley Quinn animated series.
Oh.
Apparently that is like somehow on HBO Max or
A
something.
lot of DC stuff is the original like Teen Titans show is on HBO Max, and I started watching it. I didn't get very far. I want to continue though. But yeah. And there's like a new Teen Titans live action show.
I've started watching it. I've watched 2 episodes of it with my cousins this weekend. I was going to tell you that. Enzo was obsessed with it. He's almost done. And he was like, we got to watch it. And I was like, all right. So I watched the first 2 episodes.
Did you like it? Should I watch it?
It's like, you know...
So is that a no?
I mean, it's fine. Like, yeah, I think you should watch it. I think you would enjoy it. It's definitely very, like...
It seems a little like
DC television.
CW-ish to me. Like, it kind of seems like it'd be that, and I'm not too into that.
It's DC TV for sure, but it does have, like, good characters. Okay. It's just the drama is very DC television.
Gosh.
Like, very like The Flash, very like Green Lantern or whatever. What the heck? I don't know what shows they have.
Oh, Green Arrow, probably. I don't know.
Green Arrow
season 1 was actually really good. I remember watching that like in college.
Okay, I would equate it to being like that, but it is about the Teen Titans, which of course is fun and always great. So we have that to fall back on, and obviously I talked about the old Teen Titans show that we used to watch on Cartoon Network. I definitely haven't seen all those episodes, but I did watch quite a few of them.
Yeah.
But Enzo and Luca were also watching that little kid show, the Teen Titans Go show.
Oh, I cannot watch
that. That one is like entirely nonsense. Like there is absolutely no drama. It's not meant for teenagers at all. It's mostly just meant for kids, like tweens. Like, that's what I would say that show is, like, for, but the, like, Teen Titans show was definitely more for kids, like, 13 and up. Like, 12. Like, that kind of age where you're, like, into the drama, you know, into the, like, romance between Robin and Starfire or whatever.
Yeah, Teen Titans Go is basically, like, chibi Teen Titans, and it's just... Yeah. I watched a couple episodes. It's fun, but it's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a bit much.
It's a lot. They're really annoying, and it's just like that's kind of the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, you know, it's not really supposed to be like extremely deep or anything. Yeah, we're trying to do any deep themes.
For sure. Yeah,
but you know, and speaking of deep themes, we had some kind of deep themes in Suicide Squad. Just following like, you know, the Harley kind of redemption arc, and also just like the father and daughter with the rat girl, and then like, you know, it kind of, and then the mother and son with the polka dot guy, you know, like there was kind of like a nice like darker kind of backstory to these characters that we got to see a little bit of, you know.
Yeah, so what was Peacemaker's backstory? Did we hear much about him?
No. Like nothing.
Yeah, I mean, no. It's very slight on all of them, which I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things is, you know, better than nothing, and it's
Rat Girl had Taika Waititi as a dad.
He
though.
Did I saw him? I was like Taika. Oh,
I love him.
I loved was it Ratcatcher 2? Like, who's Ratcatcher 1?
Yeah.
Like,
her father. Her father was Ratcatcher 1. That's what they said.
It all makes sense now. Oh my gosh. I didn't know her father had like a superhero name, or, you know, whatever. A name associated with him. I was thinking more like maybe there just happened to be another one, or maybe he had another daughter, or I don't know, something. But yeah, okay, that makes sense. Father.
A lot of people exploded in this movie.
Yeah, exploded, imploded,
got smashed. Just, like a lot.
Like this was also like just also a million ways to die. Like just completely. Just imagine a way of someone dying. It was in this movie. It was in here. For sure. For sure. I liked it.
Harley's entire killing spree,
Yes!
both of them that she had, was like epic. The one where she was like had the flowers behind her and everything, that was amazing. That was a great choice. Obviously, we love Harley. You can go listen to her Birds of Prey podcast. She's fucking so great.
Yeah, do you think this movie happens like kind of after that? Because did she go back to jail after Birds of Prey, or is she still out like of jail?
She said that she was in the car. She said she was arrested because of that she did an armed robbery in a bank, or she like something with a bank with a car. She was like, basically she tried to rob a bank, and
I wonder if that's what she did at the end of Birds of Prey, but I don't remember. Because yeah, I mean, I guess she had to be back in jail in order to become a part of the Suicide Squad again.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the whole first group going on, who we kind of follow, we think they're gonna be the Suicide. Okay, I didn't watch any trailers for this. I didn't look at any posters. I didn't even know who technically was in this movie or what heroes were. So I started this movie thinking that the first group that we come into, like, meet, is the Suicide Squad. Me too. Like, and I mean, and
yeah. Well, I knew that Idris Elba was in it. I knew that there were some people in it. I just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
That all these people were gonna die.
But like
from the previous movie, like Jai Courtney was in it too.
Yes, Boomer died and he was in that first group. Flula was in that first group. Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy was in...
But he was playing Savant.
Yes, Savant.
Different guy. That was great. That was it was good. Nathan Fillion.
Yes, Nathan Fillion. Okay, I knew Nathan Fillion was in this movie because I remember seeing like a Reddit. There was this crazy petition going around on Twitter that was like some person from a town wanted to name their like pavilion the Nathan Fillion Pavilion or something. Like they sort of had a petition going around to name
that makes sense
to name
Nathan
something
Fillion Pavilion.
And I think like James Gunn saw it or someone from Suicide Squad saw it and shared it and it just blew up. And
that's
funny. How I knew that Nathan Fillion was in this movie was because I read this and it was hilarious.
That's so funny.
It was so funny. But also Flula. Weasel.
God.
The fucking Weasel. I hated him.
I'm so glad that Weasel wasn't in the whole movie because it scared me. Like, I was like, every time it was on screen, I was like, Daddy, that's nightmare fuel. That's fucking nightmare fuel. I can't with this character. He's gonna make me so scared to go to sleep. Like, that thing is frightening. I kind
of went through waves. Like, in the beginning, I was like, oh, fuck no, this is not staying here. And then, and then he died. I was kind of sad. Like, I was like, no, Weasel! And then when he wakes up at the very end and walks off, I was like, yes, Weasel's alive! But no, I'm also glad he was not in this movie because I actually hated him. I hated looking at him.
I didn't want to keep looking at him. He scared me.
He was absolutely terrifying. He was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, then we also had, Pete Davidson was also in the
Yes!
And he got his face blown off.
Yeah! Oh my gosh.
I wish he was in it more, because I like Pete Davidson. I'm like one of those weird people who thinks his comedy's actually kind of funny and refreshing, even though he's very problematic as a person, I guess.
Yeah.
I think like, his acting's not horrible and I don't really think there's anything wrong with his comedy generally. I mean, people just like really love to hate on him, but like I don't really care, I kind of think he's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what his character was all about, but yeah, I mean, he did good for the amount of time he was in there. I just don't think he's a big enough name to really be in this movie until the end, but I mean, I don't know, like it was just crazy seeing all those people we knew thinking that they were gonna be in the movie till the end, but they weren't. Like just a lot of them died, and only what's his name? I keep wanting to call him So Harley,
Flag.
Harley,
Harley and Flag.
it's Rick.
Yeah.
It's like Rick Flag or something, but I keep calling him Red Flag.
And and he's in the first one as well.
Yes.
Right?
So him,
Yes.
Harley, Boomer, and Viola Davis, I think, are the only people who were in the first movie as well.
Well, Boomer dies.
Yes, and then Boomer died.
So then we've just got... Yeah, and he was great. And he had a great death.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that the fight was really fun, especially that shot of in the helmet when you could see the reflection of the helmet and they were fighting.
Yeah.
That was really fun. Also, just the whole starfish from the sky thing.
Starfish from space.
Oh my god, so funny. Like this thing walking around just like giant Patrick was like the most unhinged shit. Hilarious. It was so fucking funny. It was just this pink and blue star like smushing people. It was so funny.
This movie was like weirdly colorful yet dark. Like I don't know how this movie did it, but it just was so vibrant yet like muted dark at the same time. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. But yeah, the starfish even felt almost like Star Trek to me, because at the very end he was like, I was content flying around in space by myself, and
just like Star Trek.
But the Americans like went and grabbed it, like nabbed him from space, like just because we're like that. But
it is like that episode of Star Trek with that giant jellyfish in space.
Yeah.
And the jellyfish's baby.
Yeah.
That's like one of the first episodes of Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of the first ones. And then they revisits it later in the series. But it's like they have its baby and then it's like freaking out because they took its baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's what that whole thing was. But they don't end up like killing it. They let it go.
Yeah.
Because it's Star Trek.
They let it go. They let it go.
Yeah, in this one, Harley jumps in his giant eye and swims with all the rats.
Swims around in it. Oh my gosh, this movie. Like, and it was crazy. Like, Kimi and I started it, and then my roommates eventually came home, and then Raymond ended up finishing it with me, and he was lost. I had to, like, explain things to him along the way, because, like, everything that had happened with Polka Dot Man had, like, already happened, and like there was a scene where everyone was his mom, and I was like, yeah, in order to kill people, he has to picture them as his mom. And I was just like explaining these, and he's like, oh, sure. Like
giant mom
like,
as
mom,
the starfish.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. But it's so funny how like the jokes were just so good, because when we see Polka Dot Man, I liked Polka Dot Man a lot too. And, jokingly, they're like, what do you do?
That
throw polka dots at people?
Common.
Yes! He throws polka dots at people.
Like acid polka dots, okay? Like, they're like...
Acid, deadly virus, like polka dots.
From another dimension.
Oh,
apparently Sean Gunn played Weasel, which makes a lot of sense. Obviously, his brother.
Yeah. The guy who also is in, yes.
He's in Guardians, and he's in every movie that James Gunn makes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's his brother.
Yeah.
So, he's in a lot of things, but,
What was it? Oh, yeah. I made a joke about this movie when they brought up the Jotunheim. I was like, oh, he just knows all about the Jotunheim.
I didn't even think about that. I have to tell Danny.
I think I was the only one who got that joke, because Kimmy was just like, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh,
that's so funny.
You don't understand me.
Oh, I got it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured you would.
Also, Danny and I are watching this show called Ragnarok, which is on Netflix. It's a Norwegian show. It's fantastic.
Oh.
You really should watch it. It takes place in Norway, and it takes place in present times, as if the gods like Thor and Loki and all that are existing now, and they're like in teenagers' bodies.
Oh.
So they're like discovering that they're Thor and stuff.
Oh.
And they have to fight the giants, and they're in their home is called Jotunheim,
Oh,
which is the same.
yeah.
Yeah, Jotunheim, and Danny and I are just like, we saw it and we were like,
Oh wow, I didn't even know
funny.
this. So is it kind of like a teen drama show or something, or like?
yeah, I mean, it's got adults in it.
Okay.
It's like basically the parents and the kids.
Okay.
And in this Norwegian town, it's so beautiful. Obviously, I do like to call it an end drama because it's very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got they're great. Like the people are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's fun. So I'd recommend it. We're halfway through season 2 now.
Okay.
And I think there's only 2 seasons because it's just kind of one of those shows that just has an ending.
Okay.
So yeah, it's great though. We want to go visit now. We want to go visit that town in Norway. Where your kin's from, Emily?
Yeah. Yes. My family on my mother's side is Norwegian. Yes. Yes. I definitely want to visit there one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember what like noteworthy songs were like in this. I just was so, again, I'm not the best at listening to music in the background in movies.
Right.
And this movie was
Good
particularly hard because there was a lot going on.
There was a Johnny Cash song.
Okay.
But mostly it was contemporary music. I mean, it was a lot of contemporary music. I did catch the new Neighborhood song.
Okay. I'm just gonna try and find it on Spotify.
There was a new, like a lot of new artists. So I think that this had a really good soundtrack with like a lot of people who are just come out with new music or made for the movie or made in tandem with the movie. And so there was a lot. There's a lot of music in this. I mean, it was kind of the same way that other James Gunn movies have been.
Ooh, The Point of No Return by Kansas. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there was like a mingling of new and classic music. I was just trying to remember if the Scooby-Doo movie had a lot of music in it, and I think it did of its time.
Like the live action ones?
Yes, because James Gunn was the director of Scooby-Doo.
What?
Are you freaking out right now? Because that's like one of his main movies. Yes.
Wait. What?
I know, those movies are fire. That first one is fire, okay? It's so good. And it's because James Gunn was the director. He's so good at comedy. He's like great at those dramatic beats and everything.
Oh, so did Disney hire James Gunn back to do?
Yeah, they did.
He's on here
for Third Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. What? He was the director of the
Scooby-Doo.
Oh wait.
Yes.
I don't see it on here under director.
Yeah. I mean, he made the Scooby-Doo the what is it called? It's like the island or whatever.
He was a writer. Screenplay.
Maybe he just wrote the screenplay.
I think he just wrote the screenplay.
Maybe that was what it was. Yeah, but it's still like...
Still, he worked on it. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's the screenplay of the movie. Like, it's basically like... I think he was like also... Let's see. What other things he was a producer of? Yeah, he was a producer of the second one. But, like, he had a lot to do with it. I mean, Scooby-Doo is like... It was birthed by James Gunn.
is the first one where they go to not Monster Island. Is it Monster Island?
Yeah, let me see.
Because there was 2 of them? There wasn't 3.
There was 2 of them. Yeah, it's
the
just
first
called
one,
Scooby-Doo.
The first one but the story is where they go to the Monster Island one or something.
It's like Skull Island or something. No,
yeah,
not
Spooky Island.
Spooky Island.
Spooky
Spooky Island. Yes.
Spooky Island.
You're right. You're right. It's Spooky Island. I fucking
yes.
love that movie.
Oh, I love it
So good.
so much. So much. Damn. Damn, James. You are
James
a treasure.
Gunn.
I know. You are a treasure. Oh my gosh, what was your favorite part of this movie, Alessandra? I just don't want to stop talking about it.
Yeah, it was, let's see. I think I loved when Harley killed that guy after they had their little romantic tryst. And then she shot him.
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite part. Because it had like that scene of Harley and her growth and of her as a person. And she was like basically saying, I am fooled by your charms, therefore you must be an asshole. So I must kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was like, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I loved Birds of Prey. And then there was all the bird scene of her with the birds. And I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, her little cute little parrots. Which, why did they have to burn all the parrots? It was
no
so
rules
sad.
in this movie.
Oh
No
my
rules.
gosh.
They just flew out the window. They were like, whatever, we'll just kill all the birds. We'll just take down this giant space star with rats.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What? Why not?
I mean, what else was gonna kill it? The polka dots were working until he got killed.
Yeah, he shouldn't have stopped. He he got the leg, and he was like, I'm a hero. And I'm like, keep going. This thing is huge.
Yeah.
Whatever. You can't apply logic to this. There's no way.
You can't. I really liked the scene where they were going to save Rick Flag from his captors, and so they kill everyone in the camp.
And Alice Braga's in
and
there,
then they find out that it's actually like
the Freedom Fighters.
The Freedom Fighters camp, and she's like, "Where's everyone?" And like there was no one here when we came. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And she just was like, okay.
She's like, what the hell? You killed everyone. And just watching everyone just like do their thing before they get killed. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Oh man.
Yeah. Just like, they were very kooky. Everybody's very kooky. So it's fun. Obviously, just like adding all these kooky characters together and then kind of having only a couple that you root for. You're just generally like more into, I don't know, like there were some protagonists like the Rat Girl and with Harley and Idris Elba's character and even the polka dot guy that were like all good. So you didn't really want them to die, you know. I'm glad that like the girls didn't die. I wish there was more women in it because again, it's just like a lot of men. Yeah. But you know, that's the way it is, I guess. Yeah.
They did put a lot of women in the group, and like Viola Davis's like group. And they were all really funny too. Like when they were all placing bets and just like just being really raunchy, which just was hilarious. And I did like the arc of Peacemaker. Like he was just kind of an asshole the whole time, like an arrogant, like cocky asshole, but then like kind of seeing him turn like more into a villain like at the end, and then you know we see him in the hospital bed at the end, you know, saying that he'll come back maybe if there's a third one or whatever, a new second movie. I don't know, whatever the fuck.
I've got some update on this because I just clicked on the actress who's the blonde girl. Her name is Jennifer Holland. I recognize her from some TV shows and stuff. I clicked on her name, and apparently she's going to be in all 8 episodes of the Peacemaker TV series.
What? A TV series?
It says...
Is John Cena gonna be in that?
It is the picture of him, and it says "fuck" on the side.
Oh,
It's Peacemaker, HBO Max.
dude.
This has to be releasing. Okay, it says series premiere in January 2022. Exciting.
Very exciting. Sorry, I lost you for a second. You froze. And
The photo is of the back of his car here on IMDb, and it's a Comet. And then underneath it, the license plate says Peacemaker, but it's spelled PSSMKR. So it looks like piss.
it doesn't. Yep, that was a joke made towards him in the movie. They called him Pissmaker. So that there you go, making full circle. Full circle.
Fun.
Try to think what my favorite King Shark scene was. I just
with all the little
loved
cuttlefish
watching
or
him.
something.
Yeah, he just
And all those fish that liked him or something.
liked him, but then also wanted to eat him. So I don't
Eat him.
I don't really know what that was about, but yeah. And and Peter Capaldi, right? Is that his name? The doctor.
The doctor. Also, remember he was in Dangerous Liaisons?
Was he? Oh.
Yeah, remember he was like a side character in that.
That sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that. And speaking of, today is Keanu Reeves' birthday, so happy birthday, Keanu Reeves.
Happy birthday, Keanu. Love you. Love you lots. Mm-hmm. Hope you had a great birthday.
Yep.
Any other lasting thoughts on Suicide Squad? The Suicide Squad? Sorry, need to call it by its new name.
Well, of course, because this movie came after the failure of the first one, it was like the fact that DC was willing to give it another try and put more money into it was kind of like it's wild of them to make this very brash decision based on the fact that the first one,
because they did it with Justice League too. Like, these are very weird decisions, but I think it's for the better of...
I think they're trying to correct their wrongs.
Yes.
And think like Kevin Feige. They just think to themselves, what would Kevin Feige do? And then they do that.
I mean, yeah, if you have the right answer in front of you, just go ahead and copy it. Like, because Kevin Feige has the right answer. Like,
he always has the right answer. He's had
the right answer
every time.
He's had the right answer since whenever
years,
Iron Man came out.
10 plus years.
Yeah. Ever, like
12
when did
years.
Iron Man come out? 2010? I don't even know what time that movie came out.
No, 2008. 2008. Yeah. So 13 years of making the right choice. So, there, yeah. Okay,
I hope he's making a lot of money because
these.
he deserves it. Do you think we'll get a remake of Wonder Woman? Of the second Wonder Woman? That movie was so bad. It was so bad.
And I watched it again for some reason, and it was worse the second time. It was worse. I don't know. I think somebody wanted to watch it. It was definitely worse the second time. Like, that movie...
No redeeming qualities. And I actually still need to watch Aquaman. I think I've been afraid to, but I have heard it's
I've never
actually
watched
kind of
that
fun.
movie. Never even tried. Actually, no. I also tried to watch that on a plane. I also got like 2 minutes in and stopped.
Well,
that's what happened when I tried to watch Aquaman.
I will watch Aquaman. I do love Jason Momoa, and I heard it's not that bad. But let's see. Unless we had any other comments, we plot keywords here. Where's the plot keywords?
I got them. Do you want me to read them?
Okay. Yeah, I am lost. Yeah.
Okay, we've got superhero, superheroine, based on comic, DC Comics, Suicide Squad.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
I'm glad they have superhero and heroine in there.
I like that too. I like that very much.
Okay, let's
Alessandra,
go up to these.
When are you gonna watch Jungle Cruise so we can talk about it?
Oh yeah, I gotta go.
I'm sorry.
See
Wait,
that. I'm so busy.
This is an off podcast conversation, but I saw movies like this one. Jungle Cruise was down there, and I was like, oh, we need to talk about that.
I really want to see it. I really do. It's just I'm busy right now. I'm busy.
I really want to see it again.
I may be getting a cat soon. I may be getting a cat like this weekend. So.
This weekend? That's right. It's September. That's when you said you were gonna maybe get one.
Yeah.
Have you found one?
So hopefully we can get one. Well, we found them, but it's a matter of like, are they gonna be there on Saturday when we can go get them, or do we like them even? I don't know.
Oh, okay. You haven't had a meet and greet yet with this.
No.
But you have some picked
Potential.
out, and if they're still there. Okay.
There's a lot of people that live here. There's a lot of people that want kittens. You gotta snatch them up, like, right when they get up on the internet, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
We're gonna try to go up to Salem. Yes, the Salem, Massachusetts.
Ooh.
Get ourselves
a haunted
black
cat. Get yourself a haunted black cat.
A black haunted cat from Salem, Massachusetts. Okay. It got a 72 Metascore, which is
yes,
amazing.
Just so good.
A 72.
So good.
That's good.
That's really good. Let's see. I'm on the Metacritic
This Screen
site.
Crush. I gotta read this. This 70 Screen Crush says, after that thrilling opening act, the Suicide Squad settles down into a more conventional, if still satisfying, superhero adventure. The story flags a little, and some tricky editing in the final act designed to keep up the energy just makes the climax more confusing. Still, the opening is a blast, and the whole thing looks like a Fellini movie compared to Suicide Squad.
What?
They compared it to a Federico Fellini movie, okay? Like, beautifully shot compared to the original Suicide Squad.
I see. Let's see. Here on Metacritic.com, it had 45 positive reviews, 7 mixed reviews, and 1 negative. So let's go check out that negative. All right,
Gotta give them some
Boston Globe. Alessandra, talk to the people at the Boston Globe. What the heck? Give it a 38.
Give them a talking to.
Yeah, go down there, knock on the door, be like, Mark, can I speak to you for a second? We need to talk about Suicide Squad. Okay.
I need to talk
Boston
about
Globe.
your negative review of this pretty good movie.
Yeah, okay, let's see what Mark had to say. Let's not judge, too quickly. Here we go. Mark from the Boston Globe gave it a 38.
Okay.
A 38. The addition of Gunn, like the addition of a definite article to the title, means more of the same. A baroquely nasty, flauntingly mean 2+ hours of superhero action that is also a much greater sin, noisily tedious. Wow.
I don't know. That's pretty harsh.
I think Mark
harsh.
just doesn't like superhero movies, and I don't think he should be reviewing them.
I agree with you. That's like every superhero movie.
Yeah. I mean, if someone genuinely doesn't like superhero movies, why are you critiquing the movie? We know you're going to hate it. So Don't bother.
This person compared it to Deadpool, the Raps,
Yes.
78. Suicide Squad is by no means perfect, but like the Deadpool movies, it just showcased for what can happen when a superhero movie is allowed to be sprightly, self-aware, and sardonic, while also indulging in hard R violence, gore, and language. Gunn's latest creation is not without moments that drag, but when it pops brilliantly.
Okay. Trying to find one of these mixed reviews. This one's still so low.
IndieWire says it's the most fun and least depressing superhero movie in a long time.
Sure.
A lot of people died in this movie.
Yeah, but in kind of comedic ways. So, let's see. Entertainment
like
gave it a
starfish
58.
attaching to their faces, you know?
Yeah. This is one of the mixed reviews. Entertainment gave it a 58. The script, accordingly, herks and jerks along with a sort of forced festive glee. Its mounting body count buffeted by goofball banter and pounding soundtrack cues. A good half of the jokes don't land, but unlike his predecessor's joyless slog, Gunn's version at least celebrates the nonsense. Okay.
It does. It celebrates the nonsense, and that's exactly what it needed to be compared to the last one. So,
yeah, it needed to not take itself seriously, and it did it while also, I mean, maintaining some slightly serious aspects. I mean, they're like I think Peacemaker definitely got very serious and like scary at the end, and you know, even hearing about Ratcatcher's past with her father was she seemed a little naive to it, but I mean, and she, just the way she would like, explain the story seemed like, you know, she wasn't too beat up about it. Like, it's like, oh, you know, what happened. Father overdosed on heroin, but you know, what are you gonna do? Like,
yeah, I thought the energy was definitely akin to Birds of Prey. I thought that it was kind of a nice after Birds of Prey movie, you know, because the energy was like really intense in that movie, and also the fact that all of the press for that was also similarly just chaotic, you know, like Margot Robbie's face with a bunch of people on it. It just was like very bright, very colorful, very like Baroque in its complexity, in the visual complexity. So I really enjoyed that it kind of came off of that energy, because that movie was very feminist and very women forward and awesome. So I'm glad that we got that coming, like, and then this one kind of having that similar energy to it. I wish there was a little bit more feminine energy in it, like I said, but
yeah,
you know, that's not, it's not really the point, as obviously Birds of Prey was a lot more feminine energy forward. So, you know.
Yeah. One thing I did love a lot was Harley's outfits in this movie. I like that she went back to the red and black. Not just the dress. I liked her like leathery, strappy red and black outfit, like in the very first scene. Like I love that. The red just and blue was fine, I guess, but like her outfit in the first Suicide Squad movie was just ridiculous. And, it was ridiculous. And her outfits were fun in the second one, but like I just liked the red and the black. I that's like, you know, traditional Harley. I love Harley. So I really enjoyed that, and I'm glad that Margot is still playing Harley. I'm glad she's a survivor. She's surviving this. I just love her so much.
Well, also she doesn't even like seem to hate it. It's not like with like she likes playing Harley, because Harley's such a strong female character. It's different than like Jennifer Lawrence playing like her character in in X-Men and also in Hunger Games. She was very tired of playing those characters because they just didn't give her anything to do with them, especially in X-Men. She literally got killed off in the last X-Men. Sorry, spoilers, but that's what happened because she was like, I don't want to be in this anymore. This is bullshit. It's terrible. I don't want to be in this. And it's like, yeah, if you're not going to get supported by the writers, by the character and everything that's going to happen, of course you're going to want to leave. You don't feel like you're just a pretty face on the screen. What are you going to get out of that, you know? I totally understand why she didn't want to be in those movies anymore, because she was just like a pawn in the script, not like a fully fleshed out or at least interesting. Margot Robbie's character's got so much punk and she's got so much heart and she's just chaotic energy that's just so fun. Of course she's going to want to play this really fun character and enjoy it, as well as playing these really complex other characters in other movies that she's in, because she's a fucking amazing actress.
Yeah, she really is. She really is, and she's the perfect Harley. She's wonderful.
Yeah. I just want to be her best friend. I just love her so much.
I want a Harley Quinn costume so bad. I've always wanted one. I do like this one, so maybe I'll think about it. But yeah. And I guess that is all we have to say about the Suicide Squad. If you enjoyed this episode, please let us know. You can rate and review our show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher. And we're also now on Spotify. And if you need notifications on future episodes that we release, please follow our social media. Twitter, @ByThePopcorn. Instagram, @AllByThePopcorn_Podcast. Facebook, All by the Popcorn Podcast, and like our page. What? Oh.
I was changing the internet because you were very choppy, and I was worried that the people wouldn't be able to see you.
Oh, dang it, yeah. Dealing with some internet stuff.
It's okay,
that is
it's
okay.
Fine. Yeah.
YouTube, where you might be watching this video right now that we are trying to film, but the internet is not allowing it.
It's fine. It's gonna be okay.
We'll make it work. But yes, YouTube, just search All by the Popcorn Podcast and subscribe to that. And if you just want to reach out, say hello, let us know how much you love Suicide Squad or Harley or King Shark Baby, please email us at allbythepopcornpodcast@gmail.com. And lastly, we have some merch. So please, King Baby Shark. And we also have some merch, so please check that out. But thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.